So here we are again with Snaga trying to reach 2000 rating in Age of Mythology Extended Edition. We have another 2v2 matchup here, ranked. And we have Snaga playing Zeus with an Oranos teammate. And they're playing against a Kronos and a Thor. Now this is another water map. And so he's going to prioritize building a dock right away. Still needs to get food so he can get villagers pumping out. But he also wants to prioritize some wood so he can get some fishing boats out to help with the food. Looks like he's just going to send his scout out to some general scouting. Looks like Snaga's teammate has just put his one villager on some food. You can see how he's evenly distributing his villagers on food and wood right now, just so he can get those early ships out. He's going to want to go to the classical age and make some naval ships just in case his opponent on the other side of the map is also going to do that. He doesn't want to lose the sea, doesn't want to lose the fish resource. Since he has an Oranos teammate, he has vision of all the town centers on the map. So he doesn't have to go out and find the town centers he's gonna want to take later. It's pretty useful little thing to have. He was getting close to population cap, so he's gonna quickly build his first house of the game. Population is something you always have to concern yourself with, especially when you're on a water map, because in the very beginning you're going to have two sources of population coming out: villagers from your town center and boats from your dock. So it's going to fill up extremely quickly, so you always want to make sure that you're on top of it, building houses as you go. You can see now he has 6 villagers on wood, far more than the normal amount of villagers he has on food. He only has 5 on food, but he has also 5 fishing ships, helping with the food income. Snaga is currently beating everybody in score, which is surprising against 2 Atlantean players, this early on anyway. But it's still very, very close. It looks like the Thor opponent hasn't used his Dwarven Mine ability. Not sure why that is. So he finds the first little signs of his opponent. Looks like he is going to be facing down the Thor player. He's going to scout the coastline here to see if his opponent's built a dock yet, and it doesn't appear that he has at first glance. He has a forward hunting camp built further down the line. He's going to switch over from berries to that deer camp when the berries are all gone. He's building his temple up now so he can start advancing. Always want to keep those towers protected. It doesn't look like the Thor opponent has built a dock at all, so not sure if Snaga's going to build any offensive ships. He might not have to. The first player to advance to the classical age is the Kronos player. Gets the Valor ability. He also starts with the deconstruction ability, which is quite annoying if he comes up and deconstructs your temple before you advance. So the Thor player does not have any docks whatsoever on his side of the map, and it looks like he's running a full dwarf villager economy because he had dwarves hunting there. And he sent his berry pickers down to get the very, very huge cache of deer. He's going to build a second dock to make it easier for his fishing boats to deliver the food. Perhaps build more fishing ships down the waterway. Looks like his scout found some conflict in the middle of the map. He has 2 villagers worshiping at the temple, so he might run some myth units. You can see he has the upgrade for wood cutting and hunting dogs, knowing that he's going to be doing a lot of hunting with the villagers that he does have on food, which is not many, but still some. He also is going to rush the fishing net upgrade as soon as he advances to the classical age. He just got the mining upgrade. Now this is very powerful because his normal infantry units do 100% extra damage to buildings. So it's like he has an army full of mini siege units. Which could be quite powerful, especially in the earlier games. Now he does reach his classical age, gets a Minotaur and Restoration. Restoration is a very good god power because it makes him, pretty much guarantees him the victory in any engagement that he wants. If the opponent decides to fight him while Restoration is going off, there's no way that his opponent can win. So he gets the armory up early. He's gonna probably advance quickly to the heroic age. Again, protecting those turrets in case he ever gets attacked. He can upgrade them quickly. You can see now that he has only 7 people on wood and 10 on gold. He probably realizes that his opponent is just not going to do anything on the water on this map, so not going to build any offensive ships. Just going to keep him solely for fishing. He's probably happy with how many villagers he has on food right now. 23. It's a fairly good amount. He's going to continue building some more docks and probably build more fishing ships. And so he's going to start building some stables now. He's still going to be pumping out those fishing ships. He's not necessarily near population cap, but if he wants to build up an army, he's going to have to take another town center soon. He's almost built all of his houses. Building a second stable. So it looks like he's not going to run normal infantry. It looks like he wants to prioritize some cavalry first. So there's a little force going to try and disrupt his food gatherers here. It looks like the Thor opponent has built cavalry. Snaga sends his Minotaurs and his 1 cavalry that he's built so far over to defend him. It causes them to run away. And he reaches the heroic age and gets the gets the bronze god power. I believe this also gives him a free Hydra, which is a very powerful unit as temple, and also gives him a sea monster Hydra thingy at his dock, in case that it was ever a problem, but I doubt that's going to be a problem on this map. Looks like his opponent is completely ignoring the water, which might not be the smartest thing. As you can see, the Kronos player is engaging on the Oranos player, Snaga's teammate. Looks like Oranos has went full Prometheans along with some catapult guys. The Kronos player has a mix of Prometheans and infantry. The Thor player went with the Healing Spring god power, which in my opinion is not very good. Doesn't really help you in any kind of conflict unless you're fighting directly under the Healing Spring, and even then, if you are outnumbered, the Healing Spring can turn on you and get controlled by your opponent, healing them instead. So I feel like it's a very underwhelming god power. And also you only get a troll at your temple, and trolls are not the best mythic unit that you could possibly get. He still wants to engage and try and disrupt his food, but it's not working, and same with the Kronos player. He wants to engage and he wants to disrupt the Oranos player's economy, but they keep getting stalemated out. They're just hitting and running away. It's too close to his villages. He's gonna build some extra towers up here just for added defense, since he knows he's probably gonna get attacked again. Looks like Snaga's building a wall up where that bear town center is. He's probably gonna take that town center. They have vision on the Kronos player who has built the town center very close to the Oranos player's starting city. As that wall villager gets wrecked by a wolf. So now he's really starting to pump out the cavalry here, probably some archers as well. Yes, that villager sadly died to the wolf. Snaga's gonna want to get that town center soon. He's gonna reach population cap soon. He's upgrading his cavalry units here, upgrading them to medium and heavy. With the restoration and bronze god powers, his army cannot lose any engagement. So his opponent, the best thing that his opponent can do is, when he pops those god powers, is just to retreat and run away and wait for the duration of the god powers to expire, and then he can re-engage. But while that god power is going on, it's not gonna Snaga finds the forward base that the Thor player was going to build, and the Healing Spring. So he does have a lot of cavalry units. He uses his lightning bolt on the troll that he had. He pops restoration. So he's not going to lose this engagement, and he does gain control of the Healing Spring, and that's the big problem with the Healing Spring. It does not help you as much as it costs you. If you're losing an engagement, you're going to lose the engagement completely once that Healing Spring goes over to the other player. All of his military units are about to be destroyed, and then his longhouses are next. He's built a lot of longhouses. Snaga pops the bronze ability. Not sure why. Doesn't look like his troops were in any kind of danger. But he does have 5 longhouses, but he wasn't producing enough military units. So Thor loses his forward base. He could have more military units at his main base, but I doubt it. He does have the lowest score on the map. Snaga is still in the lead in that regard. So Snaga does get the town center up there. He has already reached population cap, though. That's how fast he's popping out the extra boats and military units. He's also mass producing some caravans to help with his gold, which is his sorest resource right now. Yeah, this forward base is completely boned. This Hydra now has 2 or 3 heads. It makes it a very powerful, scary myth unit.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Πρόσεχε. Έτοιμος.
There's the water myth unit. It's basically just a water Hydra. And it does look like the Thor player built a dock, but only had a couple fishing boats and had no offensive ships, and the Skyla, which is the water unit, destroyed it and took care of it very easily. So that's his forward base completely destroyed. Snaga is going to send down some villagers to build up the town center. That was right there. The Thor player is going to lose his Dwarven Armory, so he's not going to be able to advance to the Heroic Age unless he's built another one in his main base. It looks like the Kronos player found Snaga's caravan line is trying to disrupt it. He might have to go up there and deal with them, but it looks like he is ignoring the caravans, going straight for the Oranos player. Oranos uses his shockwave ability, which completely fucks up his attack there. And they're all under his turrets, and this is just going to end up very badly for the Kronos player. Still, the Thor player has not used his Dwarven Mind ability. I'm guessing he doesn't know what it is. So the Oranos player just got to the Heroic Age. He got the giant tree that produces myth units. And Snaga is just going to go on the offensive and end the Thor, most likely. So look how many ships he has on the right side of the map there. All fishing ships. So he upgraded his towers knowing that he was going to get attacked, but those towers will not do anything to stop Snaga's army. He's gonna have the villagers go beyond that wall and build that town center. That healing spring is still under the control of Snaga. In case his troops get injured, he can pull back and heal up. Doesn't look like Thor has any kind of defense against this army. So he gets the town center next to the healing well. The Oranos player is deciding to destroy this, or attack this forward base that the Kronos player had built, just deconstructing his military force. It looks like the Thor player must have retreated near the town center of the Kronos player. He also advanced to the Heroic Age, getting the flaming weapons. So the Kronos player is going to lose his forward town center there. The Thor player is going to lose his main town center, but he could have built another one closer to his teammate. He has absolutely zero villagers here, so he must have retreated, knowing that he lost his side of the map. Snaga gets the Mythic Age, and he gets the Plenty Vault. It's a very good god power. Guarantees that his economy will stay stable for the entirety of the match. You can look, he has 2 villagers on wood, 27 on gold, and 23 on food. And now he has 8 on wood. It must have been idle. He's gonna have his villagers come down and probably take that town center. He's currently getting the flaming weapons upgrade and building more armory so he can get all of the upgrades even quicker. He finds some of the Thor villagers, and there he's gonna lose those. He does find the Kronos player. He's built a small wall. Snaga's going to try and take as many town centers on the map as possible so he can get the highest population cap he possibly can. Looks like he has walls, but he has no defensive turrets. Not yet, anyway, so if Snaga can take down that wall before he puts the turrets up, should be an easy win. So he does take down the wall before the turrets go up, and before the fortress goes up, as he continues to take more town centers. He's also going to build some closer military academies, just so his reinforcements don't have to travel so far away to get to him. I would be very surprised if Thor built that foothill up, that defensive foothill. Yeah, there's no way he's going to get that up. Let's see Snaga build some more Hydras. They're very powerful mythic units. Oh, this does go up, but quickly gets demolished. So this is Thor's second town center. As Snaga builds some Colossi. So he's going to lose his second town center as well. He has no military to protect it, no turrets to protect it, and all his dwarves are just going to die. A random shockwave comes in from his teammate, the Oranos. The Oranos player is sending his troops as well. They're probably going to converge on the Kronos player right after they're done taking the Thor's town center. And gets the military academies up. Looks like this game is going to be over shortly. This victory is going to push Snaga in the 1700 range for rating. The Oranos player deconstructs one of the Kronos player's military buildings, and there's just nothing he's going to be able to do against this combined force. Too strong, and it's going to be GG. Snaga wins another ranked game, and he's going to get closer to 2000 rating with this. And that's going to be the GG. If the person is so inclined. There's one surrender. Thor player. And there's the other surrender. So Snaga wins again, and he's getting closer and closer to 2000 ratings. Age of Mythology.